Right now, the Bucks battling against the Lakers in Milwaukee. Our K-Racine breaks down this battle between two of the league's best. Also, we're inching closer to the holiday season. We'll tell you where you can see Christmas lights for free. Plus, Madison's Black Film Festival is highlighting the impact of art and black filmmaking. Our Tanisha Shaw brings us the curation behind this year's films. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. We'll get to all those stories in just a second, but first let's go ahead and get a look at your first warn forecast. Blaze, this time last week I was bundling up. Today, what happened?
Today we got into those 60s and 70s once again. Watertown, we did not get into those mid 80s. That sensor is broken because that would be truly shocking. I think we probably got more into those mid to upper 60s like everybody else did. 70 was our high temperature in Janesville, Beloit, Monroe coming in at 68. A little bit cooler there in Mineral Point. We only got to 59, but the cooler air is on its way. We will be topping out where we currently are now by tomorrow afternoon. We are set to cool on down as we go into Sunday. Northwesterly winds are taking on over, and that's going to cool us down as we head overnight into Sunday. We're still at 50 in Sauk City, 47 in Madison, 48 in McFarland, Belleville, Perry, as well as Mount Horeb. We're looking at the low 30s by the time we go into the morning hours on Sunday. This is where we should be for this time of year. Last night we only dipped into the 50s. Again, we are looking at the 40s for high temperatures on Sunday, how long the cooler air sticks around for, and if there's any rain or snow in the forecast, how the temperatures will be cooling down. That's coming up in the full forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. Thank you. And as always, you can download our First Warn weather app. Just go ahead and head on to the app store of your choosing. You can find our First Warn weather app and our Channel 3000 news app. Again, just head on over to your favorite app store. And as you know, the Bucks just wrapped up their highly anticipated matchup against the Lakers right here on News 3 Now with how Giannis and Nadir fared. Our K-Racine joins us now. Kay?
Thanks, Jalen. The Bucks just took on the Lakers here on News 3 Now, and it was a fight. Action from Luka Doncic from a one-hand splasher, and then Gary Harris with a three from the corner for the Bucks. A lot to unpack from this game, and I'll give you everything you need to know in sports.
All right, sounds good, Kay. Thank you. Right now, officials say a man is in the hospital after a truck crashed into a tree on Madison's east side. Madison police responded to Swanson Road and North Thompson Drive near the Meadows apartment just after 2:30 a.m. this morning. They say the truck left the scene when they arrived. They later found the truck past the roundabout just north of the overpass on Thompson Drive. Officials are unable to confirm the status of injuries or the number of people in the vehicle at the time of the crash. As winter returns, so does alternate side parking across the greater Madison area. Starting tonight, drivers are asked to follow the odd even parking rules to help crews clear snow curb to curb. But this year, the city is testing a new approach. Enforcement won't begin until the first general plow or snow emergency. That change is part of a pilot program aimed at making winter parking more flexible and reducing confusion for people. Alternate side parking takes place through March 15th. Do you know when Lake Mendota will finally freeze over? Then you should test your mettle as part of the Clean Lakes Alliance annual freeze contest. Starting today, you can put in your official guess as to when Madison's biggest lake will officially ice over. Last winter, Lake Mendota first froze on Christmas Day, then briefly thawed before refreezing in early January, staying iced just over 69 days.
Clean Lakes Alliance started this 14 years ago because we know people love Lake Mendota and they love a lake. So let's give them a reason to get out and, pique their curiosity, do a little research, maybe a little farmer's almanac, listen to your local weather station.
You can enter the contest and check past freeze data at mendotafreeze.org. Only one entry per person or email address is allowed. All correct guesses in the contest will be entered into a random drawing for local gift cards. And of course, you'll get bragging rights if you win. Now, what's the holiday season without a pretty light display? And if you prefer staying warm and cozy while appreciating those holiday lights, Olin Park has the perfect setup for you. From today until January 5th, drivers can make their way through the park and enjoy the lights from the comfort of their car. You can visit from dusk until 10 p.m. Plus, you can grab a candy cane every day from 4:30 to 10 p.m. The Goodman Community Center is helping families in need for Thanksgiving. This year's basket drive starts today, and they can use your help. The center aims to fill 4,000 baskets with food donations. News 3 Now is a proud partner again this year. You can start donating money online right now at goodmancenter.org/donate. The third annual Black Film Festival wraps up tonight. Earlier today, the festival highlighted a director from Madison that is paving the way for the next generation. Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
Raphael Ragland is proudly raised in Madison.
So that's why I, stick with, like I say, Madison a lot, because this is where I started.
He's released nearly 30 movies and series since 2010. When he started his career, he didn't think he would have made it this far.
I just want the community to know that I'm here, and let's start working together.
The Black Film Festival screened 2 of Ragland's movies and also hosted a discussion on Saturday. His films, The Comforter and Echoes of Freedom, were filmed in Madison. Ragland says that a lot of his inspiration comes from the capital city.
Being in Madison, Wisconsin, this is where it started, so it influenced me to keep going because it has been, paying the way for me.
If you'd like to just watch and talk about Black film, Black joy, Black culture.
Black Film Festival is hosted by the Nehemiah organization through the Justified Anger courses. Savon Jackson is one of the lead organizers, and they said that the goal is to highlight and uplift Black creatives.
Once you find an artist or a nonprofit, stick with them. Even if you're only sticking with them at the lowest amount that you can contribute.
It's a normal now. So that's what I'm looking for. It's a normal now. Back then when you think that, is this even possible? Now it's normal that you could say that, yeah, it's the Black Film Festival. It's a Black this, it's a Black that.
Over the past 3 years, the Black Film Festival has grown tremendously. Ragland wants up-and-coming Black directors to know that anything is possible.
That being Black, that you have a voice, that you can do, tell stories, that you can be successful, and, that it is a window and a door for us.
The Madison Black Film Festival will wrap up with more movie screenings and a party to celebrate here at the Central Library in Madison. And the organizers also told me that they will be back with the 4th Black Film Festival in fall 2026. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, Blaze returns with a complete look of your first one forecast. Plus, affordability concerns persist nationwide, why Americans are still feeling the squeeze. And a once longtime Trump ally is now at odds with the president, why the fallout happened after the break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you all for staying with us. President Trump is parting ways with the once loyal ally, Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. This comes as the push for the Justice Department to release all Jeffrey Epstein files intensifies. CBS News' Willie James Inman has the latest.
President Trump says he will no longer support Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling the Congresswoman from Georgia, who had once been his staunch supporter, wacky. In a social media post on Friday night, the president took aim at Greene and said all she does is complain, complain, complain.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is not anyway, she is a very different thinking than I have. Something happened to her over the last period of a month or two where she changed, I think, politically. I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy.
The president's negative comments about Greene come as she continues to push for the Justice Department to release all files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
These women have been waiting, some of them for decades. I talked to several victims that were raped by Jeffrey Epstein back in the 90s. And so this is information that has needed to come out for a very long time, and the American people have demanded it.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said Wednesday that a bill that calls for the release of all the Justice Department's Jeffrey Epstein case files will be put to a vote next week.
Meanwhile, a number of restrictions that were imposed because of the record-breaking government shutdown are being lifted this weekend.
The FAA began rolling back mandated cuts to flights throughout the country. Museums in the nation's capital and the National Zoo also began reopening this weekend. And SNAP food assistance that have been put on hold for the month of November because of the shutdown are expected to be released in the next week. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Now that the shutdown is over, back pay for some federal employees will begin going out as early as Sunday, according to a memo from the White House Budget Office. Other federal employees will have to wait until Wednesday the 19th to receive their back pay checks. The National Park Service is launching a nationwide recruitment drive for its law enforcement ranks. The agency said it's looking to hire up to 500 new law enforcement officers to protect America's parks and visitors. The Park Service is recruiting 300 U.S. Park Police officers in Washington, D.C., New York City, and San Francisco. An additional 200 experienced law enforcement rangers are being sought for assignments across national parks. Hourly employees at Walgreens will no longer receive paid vacation time for 6 major holidays, including the upcoming holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas. The move comes about a month after the pharmacy giant was acquired by Sycamore Partners. Walgreens announced last month that it was laying off roughly 80 corporate employees. Last year, the company announced it was planning to close about 1,200 underperforming stores. Walgreens has not responded to a request for comment. The Washington State Health Department reported Friday that a resident has been hospitalized with the bird flu. It's the first reported case of bird flu in a human in the U.S. in 9 months. Officials also say the patient is infected with a strain of the variant that hasn't been seen in humans before. It's unknown how the older patient caught the virus. Health leaders are contacting people who say they have been in close contact with the man to check for symptoms. Financial pains are being felt nationwide on the tail end of the government shutdown. CBS's Ali Bowman has more on how people across the country are still feeling the strain.
Even after the government reopened this week, hundreds lined up at a grocery giveaway in Tampa, Florida, still struggling following weeks without federal food aid.
It's going to take time. You have to, rob Peter to pay Paul. It's either food or lights.
Nearly a year into President Trump's second term, food and housing costs have surged.
You just expect when you leave the house that whatever you're planning for, you're probably going to spend more.
Yesterday, the president signed an executive order lifting his own tariffs on dozens of foods in an attempt to bring prices down. The price of beef never higher. Coffee, the most expensive it's been in half a century. Bananas up more than 8% over the last year. Food economist David Ortega.
So if we take that tariff away, that is going to reduce the inflationary pressures, but it's still going to take some time for those prices to come down.
Voters overwhelmingly supported Democrats who campaigned on affordability on Election Day. On Monday on Fox News, Trump was asked about the economic strain Americans say they're feeling.
It's a con job by the Democrats.
But he appears to be pivoting, proposing a 50-year mortgage designed to lower monthly payments. He also offered to send most Americans a $2,000 dividend from tariff revenues. CBS's Willie James Inman asked the president about that.
It'll be next year sometime.
Do you have a time frame? How many months?
Sometime during the year, next year.
And the economist we spoke to said you may not see relief at checkout until well after the new year. Ali Bowman, CBS News, New York.
Certainly something to keep our eyes on, but for now, let's go ahead and get a look at your first one forecast. Blaze.
Well, we are saying goodbye to those warm temperatures that we were underneath as we ended the weekend or ended the work week and went into today. We'll be cooler, back to more normal temperatures and still sunny and breezy for Sunday. Next week, the 40s look to stick around, maybe an isolated 50 here and there, but we are adding a couple more chances for some much needed rain as well. High pressure is the reason why we will be sunny on Sunday, but it's also going to be the reason, thanks to these northwesterly winds, that we we cool on down. It's pulling air out of Canada, and this is a large high pressure system. It's kind of going to almost split into two. One area of that high will be off to our south, another area off to our north, and that's going to push more of this moisture coming out of the Dakotas later Monday evening to our south. But as it moves on in later Monday, we will watch as clouds move on in, and we will see some showers. At times that could change over briefly to light snow, or at the very least a rain-snow mix, because air temperatures are still going to be above freezing and our ground temperatures are still well above freezing, especially after these last 2 days. That low pressure system continues to be pushed, essentially forced to our south. Winds will turn back out of the south as we go into the second half of next week, and that's going to help move in our much bigger, more organized system out of the Gulf. And this one is going to arrive as we go Wednesday night into Thursday. Of these two chances, I would put more of my money on this system Thursday into Friday, bringing more of, especially southern Wisconsin, that beneficial, much needed rain that we really haven't seen over the last, I would say, month to month and a half. The mess on Monday is going to be just that, a mess, an annoyance. This is going to be that soaking rain. We might even squeeze out a thunderstorm or two, not expected to be severe, as we go Thursday into Friday. And if we look at the rainfall estimates over the next 7 days, a lot of this is coming Thursday into Friday of next week. Where we get into these lighter blues, that's close to an inch, if not an inch and a half, of some much needed rain. And with the drought conditions continuing to not only persist, but expand across southern Wisconsin, we could really use this given that the ground is not frozen yet. I would like to see more of the lighter blues and even purples here. This is where we do have the severe drought in parts of Lafayette and Greene counties. But beggars can't be choosers. I will gladly take a lot of this blue here. It is going to be kind of an annoyance Thursday into Friday, but we really do need that rain. Now, even though we do cool down next week back to where we should be, we're still above normal. And we look to stay above normal pretty much through the end of November. We've got about a 60 to 70% chance of being warmer than average up through the Thanksgiving time frame, and probably even beyond that into likely the start of December. So that could be by a degree, that could be by several degrees, but it really doesn't look like any big cool downs are on the way. I wouldn't necessarily say that we're expecting any 60s or 70s to return. We'll just probably hang out slightly above average. There's a look at the 7 and 10 day forecast. Rain snow mix Monday into Tuesday, and then rain Thursday into Friday.
So we just have to, real quick, I can't believe you said through the end of November. The fact that we're already reaching.
Well, yeah, we're halfway there, bud.
It's flying by. I swear it was like Halloween.
It's the 15th.
Not too long ago.
Time is flying.
I know. Well,
yeah. So
yeah, end of November, right around the corner.
I need things to slow down.
I'll give you plenty of time to give me a Christmas present, though.
Okay. I got you on that one, but
Thank you.
We got to weather the rain over the next few days. But as for today, did the Badgers weather the storm down in Bloomington?
We'll have all of that and more coming up for you guys next in sports. After a top 25 win last weekend that will probably go down as the most memorable game this season for the Badgers, they headed to Bloomington, Indiana to face the number 2 team in the country with their heads held high. But late in the first, the Hoosiers would get on the board first with a 40-yard pass from the Heisman candidate Fernando Mendoza, finding Charlie Becker in the end zone, going up 7-0. But don't worry, the Badgers joined in on the fun. Carter Smith finding Lance Mason, who was wide open like 7-11, and would get the game to 7-7. But after halftime, the lead would change in the Hoosiers' favor, and the Badgers wouldn't see the end zone again, losing this one 31-7. Wisconsin volleyball is ranked 11th in the country, and the regular season is coming to an end fast, knocking out their last couple opponents and setting themselves and their eyes on the tournament is the routine that the Badgers are no strangers of. But first, they have to get through Illinois, tied in the first set. Who else but Mimi Collier to slam one down for the Badgers, and Illinois getting the strength to continue to come back. But then a denial of a block from Alicia Andrews gives the Badgers some fight. Finally, after a long rally back and forth, from Collier, spiking it down. The Badgers would go on to sweep Illinois in straight sets. The Badgers women's hockey is on a 2-game win streak, looking to stay at the top of the rankings and extend it to 3. The Badgers found themselves in Minnesota taking on St. Cloud this time, not the Gophers. But right now, out of the gate, the Huskies got on the board. But to follow up, Pennington finished it off to get them up 1-1 after the sneak in. Kristen Sims would sneak another one in for the Badgers to go up 3-1. But the Huskies making it tied game. Kelly Gavato on the power play for the Badgers would lead, but the game would end in a tie. But Bucky would go on to win the shootout and the extra point that goes with it. Staying on the ice, the Badger men took on the Buckeyes, trailing in the first period. No problem. Oliver Talk slaps one in and puts the Badgers on the board. And then comes Grady Daring to tie the game 2-2. The freshman Bruno got in the action as well for his first time scoring in college, making it 3-2. The Badgers would keep the lead and go on to win in overtime, 6-5. The Bucks to welcome Luka Doncic and LeBron's Lakers in Pfizer tonight. And the game was quite a show if you were a Lakers fan. Ready to carry his team on his back, Giannis gives an assist in the beginning of this game to A.J. Green, who knocks it down from beyond the arc. To stay in this game and fight to the finish, Giannis tries to go up and get a foul, but it wouldn't be enough. He finished tonight with 32 points, and Luka Doncic would take over. The Bucks would lose this one 119-95.
Yeah, super happy that game took place on our network. Obviously, we would have wanted it to end a little bit differently. But let's go back to the Badgers going down to Bloomington earlier today. I mean, they got the upset win last week against Damon Williams, and the Huskies out of Washington. Again, we got a few more games left in the season. What are you hoping to see from the football team?
I think after the games that they had, nothing scored, 0 points. It's like they got their energy going when they beat Washington, and then now they even scored against the number 2 team in the country. I think that's impressive. So just continuing to score, continuing to fight, and finish out the season strong.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. We got a few more big games left, so hopefully they can send the seniors out right.
For sure.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Kay. A final check of your first run forecast is coming up when we return. All right, so Blaze, Kay just started, so she's trying to get some consistency going. What's going on with this weather? Last week she had on the coat.
How does this?
No.
Don't put this on me. All right. It is going to be more consistent next week. Sunny tomorrow. We'll start off our kind of trend in the 40s tomorrow. Breezy, but plenty of sunshine. Winds will be out of the northwest. 40s all next week. Maybe we slip into the 50s Monday and then again Thursday of next week, but we will see a couple chances for rain Monday into Tuesday with a better chance Thursday into Friday.
So get a rain jacket.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Thank you, Blaze, and thank you, Kay. Thank you all for joining us. Seinfeld is up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.